Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what are you saying, people, and welcome back to another live stream. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the stream. EU and GU, yeah, sure thing, we'll get to that in a second, but make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, drop a like, all that good stuff. Check out my Telegram channel if you want to, different trading setups there, and also check out my recommended broker as well. My affiliate link is in the chat as well. So yeah, guys, another stream. I'm going to talk you through what's going in the charts. I'm going to start with like the usual Euro USD, Pound USD, and work our way around there. And if there's any pairs you guys want me to take a look at, just feel free to leave it in the chat below, and I'll take a look at it together. Or if you have any trades as well, feel free to let me know. So I'm going to start off with Euro USD. So for this pair, big move to the downside this week. Happened on Monday. broke through this support quite easily. Again, last week we were looking for longs off this support here to continue price to the upside, but eventually price formed a bit of a range, and then we broke to the downside out of that range yesterday. So we're looking quite bearish here, I believe, here for Euro USD. Again, if you haven't watched my weekly analysis, make sure you go and do that. I said if you start breaking out the range to the downside, I think as long as it's not a fake false breakout, I can expect Euro USD to potentially come back and test these lows all the way down here, and this just be a pullback here, like a ascending channel kind of, well, kind of is an ascending channel there, and now we could be seeing that impulse move to the downside back down to these lows. So I'm bearish on Euro USD after that move there. As long as we don't get back above this area here, which is prior resistance over here on the left, support there, now time resistance, as long as we stay underneath this for Euro USD, I do think we've got a good chance of pricing a move back down into these lows. Get back above this level, it might mean we had a bit of a false break, because this is a very, very big bearish candle, so that definitely would have taken a lot of stop losses underneath this area here. So if you do push back up quite aggressively, it might mean that was a false break. We'll wait for the retest and then look for continuations to go long. But yeah, if we stay underneath that, which so far it looks like we are, a lot of dojis down the 4H, so basically a lot of indecision. Hourly, again, not too much going on, just a bit of a range. So as long as we don't break to the upside with a lot of momentum and have that false break, yeah, I do think Euro USD is looking good for another move back down to these lows. Again, first targets will probably be this support here, and if you can break through that support, I do think there's a good chance of back to the lows around 1.153 300. So yeah, looking at shorts for Euro, it's gone. But the internet is back. Well, hopefully it's back. Yes, it is back. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to quickly take a look at the DXY, because DXY will help form my bias for these USD pairs. DXY, I was looking at this level here around the 93,700 mark. That resistance there, that support, nice move to the upside. We were holding below that last week, but this week, big bullish candle, again mirrored on the DXY and Euro USD, opposite directions, and now we're back above that. So same thing is if DXY stays above this level, expecting a swing to the upside, maybe coming back into this resistance here, which probably will give Euro USD that swing to the downside, back down to some levels down there. So yeah, as long as DXY stays above that, we should be seeing a bullish dollar. Get back below might be a false break, and dollar would turn bearish. But right now, I'm thinking we're seeing a bit of retracement coming into the hourly. We'll see how price reacts with this support here. If it's bullish, there could be some nice shorts on Euro USD and Pound USD coming up. We'll take a look at GU, get into that in a second. So yeah, GU looking a little bit bullish here, pushing to the upside. Again, like I said, I can still see price moving to the downside there for Euro USD and Pound USD. However, Pound is looking quite strong right now. As you can see, it looks like it's trying to break through this level actually right now. So yeah, Pound is definitely a lot stronger from what I can see. And it looks like potentially, the candle's only just open. We talk about what, 38 minutes, 40 minutes before that candle closes. Before we can signify a break or not, but it looks like Pound might want to move to the upside. We do have a really strong support here on the left. So yeah, Pound is not that clear for me, because DXY might move to the upside if it stays above this, and if that happens, Pound should come back down. But right now, Pound's looking really, really bullish. So I'm going to see what happens with this level for Pound. If we can hold on to it, maybe give a nice false break, show a nice bearish reaction, there could be some nice sells right back down again into those lows there, and then potentially even further. So that could be a nice short there for Pound. We do also have a little bit of a trend line here as well. That price might even try and break through that as well. So if you do break through the trend line, break through that resistance, then potentially you could be looking at going long. Expecting price to continue, but right now for me, as long as we stay underneath that level, we'll be looking for shorts for Pound. Break above that, Pound might just be continuing back to highs, I think, all the way up here. We'll see what happens when price comes back down. If you start forming a higher low somewhere, yeah, there'll be good longs from here, take that to highs. If not, and we get back underneath, we'll look for shorts back down to these lows down there. So we'll see what happens there. We'll have to also see what happens with the DXY when it's coming to that support. It's looking quite bearish now, so we'll probably will get a test of that support, either to go up or to break back underneath. And that will help add confidence to what we want to do with pound USD. But like I said, pound USD holds above that, looking for longs just to fill that range into that resistance. False break, we're giving shorts back down to these lows there. And yeah, ADNZD. One second, David. So ADNZD, this pair has seen some nice downside recently. Crashed the downside quite aggressively, coming back into this area, but it's rejecting this resistance here on the left. So it's giving me potentially head and shoulder kind of vibes here. That left shoulder there, the head, the right shoulder. We could be seeing a downside move for ADNZD. I still think long term this pair is still coming down anyway. But potentially if you do hold that as resistance, we could see a nice sell-off to the downside. A little bit choppy though, because again, this kind of bowl shape there, so it doesn't kind of meet up with confluence entirely. But essentially if you hold that resistance, I think we'll probably end up moving back down to these lows and then potentially break through that as well and see some lower lows if that head and shoulder pattern does play out. But ADNZD is holding that key level resistance. We see 1, 2, 3 attempts of breaking through. So far price is unsuccessful, so if we keep that up, I'd say shorts to the downside do look good. We do have a little bit of a bearish trend line in this market now, kind of with a little bit of a bullish trend line there as well. Probably use that wick there. So it's a little bit choppy for ADNZD as normal, but I think I'll probably have that bias to the downside if we can hold up below that resistance there, break above that resistance, then the long opportunity will start looking good. But for now, I would say look for those shorts. Probably wait for a break of that trend line there, and then catch some shorts, or look for another test of that trend line. Either which way, as long as we stay below that resistance, I do expect price to eventually come back down into this support here. And maybe break through that if that head and shoulder pattern does play out. If it does, we could go a lot further. But yeah, I'm bearish on ADNZD as long as we stay below that level. Nice test this morning, coming into the London session, nice reaction. So maybe another test of that trend line, or if you want to be a bit more conservative, wait for the break and retest of that lower trend line there, and then shorts back into those lows. And then if you want, you can probably look to swing the trade a little bit further. Hey David, how are you doing? Well, I just find that because I have a lot more time, because again, I don't do any full-time employment, so I've got a lot more time with the charts to do hourly time frame. And also kind of another main reason why I wanted to trade hourly as well is because most of my analysis has always been using the daily time frame. So I used to just take trades on the daily candle closure, but because I've got the time to look into the lower time frames, the whole point of me trading on the hourly and getting some trades on hourly is that I can swing my trades further with daily targets in mind. So the whole point of hourly is just to maximize rewards and not minimize my risk, because my risk is the same, but yeah, maximize my rewards. So simply getting entered in the trade earlier and holding my trade to the daily targets, so I can bank as much pips as possible and take less trades as well, because I just need to get that one good trade and it could cover like 3-4 losses anyway. So yeah, the whole point of hourly is just to get better entries so I can hold my trade longer and maximize my rewards, and just get tied to stop losses really. That's why I trade hourly. Sometimes I even drop to the 15-minute, not normally, but if it looks good on the 15-minute I can potentially enter. Again, it doesn't always swing to my daily target, sometimes comes back and stops me out. It comes back at break even. So yeah, the whole point that I trade those time frames is just to get better entries to swing the trade further. Yeah, I hear you with that one. Yeah, daily. I mean, that's another reason why I didn't, continue with daily as well, it does take a long time. And I find like daily is good if you're like a position trader where you've got, well, like trading isn't like something that you really want to focus on too much. It's something that you want to do, of course, but not something that you want to focus entirely on. So daily is kind of good because, you know, you just wait for the daily candle to close, and then you can take your trade and maybe hold it for, you can potentially hold a daily trade for like multiple weeks, even a month, you know, potentially, you know, how far your targets are. But yeah, daily does take its time, especially when things are not quite right. It could take, you know, a week for things to look better, and a week is a long time, you know. So yeah, daily is quite slow, but it's good if you have a lot of other things in your life and trading is not, you know, the main one of them. Then it's good because then you just have to be, you know, on and off the charts, just checking at the end of the day, and it's quite laid back as well. But if you want to, like, you know, be a bit more, you know, at it with your trading, then yeah, you can trade. I mean, I've never traded an hourly time frame with a full-time job. I've traded hourly time frame at university, but that wasn't really full-time either. You know, I was quite flexible at university. I wasn't always in lectures and stuff. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you can trade hourly with a full-time job. But the thing is that with hourly time frame, you know, you have to understand which pairs are probably going to be better for you. Like, for example, if you're, like, for me, if I was in a full-time job right now, say from like 9 till 5, you know, I'm pretty much busy throughout the whole of the New York session. So, you know, I don't plan to trade that session because, you know, I'm at work at that session. London, potentially I could trade right at the beginning, like 7 a.m, 8 a.m, right at the start of London. You can find some trades there. The thing about hourly is that it might not always look great as the session starts, but essentially you could pick your trade, you know, during that time of the day, that 7, 8 a.m, 9 a.m time, and then you can look to hold that trade, you know, potentially to the end of the day, which does work. It's something that you do need to back test to see how the markets flow. But with trading hourly around the full-time job, you definitely need to know that you have specific pairs that you trade. So you, like, because you said you were talking about indices as well, or stocks even, you have to have, you know, specific instruments that you trade that you know and how they move. Because if you know how they move, then you can know when to enter and enter around your job. Because yeah, it's going to be difficult to take every trade, because obviously you won't be at the markets all the time, but to, like, understand, okay, the pair's going to move during this time, you know, there's a nice level for me, or there's something, you know, I could look to pick my trade here, maybe use a bigger stop loss, you know, ATR, something like that. But yeah, definitely understanding, you know, a few instruments, understand when they move, and, you know, entering during that time. Because you can trade hourly during, you know, with a full-time job. It just might be, you know, a little bit difficult, and you have to enter your trades at specific times. You might not always have confirmation and stuff like that. In the toilet, check your trade. I mean, daily. The funny thing with daily is that daily could come quite quickly. Like, sometimes I can get like 5 signals in a matter of like 3 days. Sometimes you might have to wait. You know, it could be a week, it could be 2 weeks before you even get a next signal, and that signal might not even be the best signal. You know, really, it might be the one that you look at like, yeah, it's not looking too good. So you have to wait for the next one, or you could obviously take that one if it is valid for your strategy or whatever. But yeah, I could say, you know, you could get a lot quite quickly with daily, because, you know, daily they do set up quite, there's like a bit of a cycle to it. So they sometimes all come together quite quickly, or they could be quite spread apart, like 2 weeks, maybe even 3 potentially. Yeah, sure, we'll take a look at NZJPY. So yeah, NZJPY. Where is NZJPY now? Okay, so yeah, NZJPY is another JPY pair that has obviously taken a bit of a breather coming into this week with those two bearish candles there. We're finding some support higher up though on the daily. Again, this pair is still very, very bullish overall. You can see. I know we've got those two bearish candles there, but they don't mean much, you know, in the scale of things. You know how we've gone to the upside so aggressively. So yeah, I think NZJPY is pulling back into this area here. We might see some downside coming from this because obviously we've got that push, that lower high, another push, and coming back into that. So I do see a move to the downside there for NZJPY, but again, I don't think it will be, you know, anything crazy. I think it'll probably be, you know, probably a move into this support at best. It might not even hit that, just because price might want to start turning bullish, put some higher lows in, and eventually make its way back to highs. So I can still see NZJPY making a push back to the highs potentially this week, even if we do, you know, push on aggressively and JPY becomes weak again. But I think we're looking good for a move to the downside right now, coming into this trend line here, putting into that area kind of supply there as well. We're getting some nice wicks to the upside. So yeah, a move to the downside does look good back into that support, but I'll be looking to take partials as you short that, because price, you know, might want to turn bullish quite quickly and look at stop losses to break even potentially once you know, you locked in some profit. But yeah, NZJPY looks good for shorts, but do watch out because again, this is a bullish market in the higher time frame. So I know looking at this on the hourly, it looks good to go short. You know, nice bearish trend line. We're making lower lows there, also lower highs. It's looking good for short. But then don't be surprised if price, you know, starts moving in a direction and then suddenly a big bullish candle comes and we start breaking to the upside. And the reason why is because, you know, the higher time frames, you know, is still very, very bullish. So shorts do look good, but again, stop loss to break even could be a nice decision, because yes, we could make it to this area, maybe even further as well, but momentum in the higher time frames is not something that you want to play with too much. So shorts do look good there. Target's probably that low, but just be careful because we could turn bullish quite quickly. If you do break past this, then yeah, we're most likely going to head up to highs if you can hold that as support. Back up to around the 82,400, 82,500 mark. Yeah, I was just saying for ADNZD that price is looking good for shorts. I said head and shoulders are looking good there. That left shoulder, the head, not the head there, sorry, left shoulder, the head there, right shoulder rejecting that resistance a few times now, 1, 2, 3. So for me, it looks good for ADNZD back down into this support here. And if it is a head and shoulders pattern, we could go a lot further potentially, you know, and continue if you can break through that neckline. But we're looking good for shorts for ADNZD. We've seen a nice bearish reaction coming into London, so maybe if you can see another test of that trend line, that could be a nice place to go short. Or potentially, if you wait for the safer option, maybe the break of this bullish trend line here, because we've got 1, 2, 3 tests, so wait for a break of that. Wait for the retest of resistance, a low high to form, and then you can look for shorts around there to take it into those lows, into those lows there, and potentially even further. But essentially, as long as we can stay below this resistance here, this yellow level there on the 4H, as long as we can stay below that, I think price will probably come back down to these lows for ADNZD. If we break to the upside and start holding that as support, then yeah, we could see a bit more continuation, maybe to somewhere around there for ADNZD. But right now, we're holding that level quite strongly, so bearish on the ADNZD, expecting a move back down into these lows there. Pound AUD as well. Overall, actually seeing some upside here for pound AUD actually. So again, pound AUD is, you know, a bearish pair. We've been falling to the downside for the past, you know, few days now, a couple of weeks. So I think we can see some upside now because we're coming into this kind of area here of demand here. Nice wick to the downside. You can tell it is a really strong one because of wick to the downside, taking out those lows. then from that we got this really crazy move to the upside. So I think it could be time for pound AUD to take a bit of a breather and see some upside. Again, it is a bit more of a risky trade simply because we're going against the trend, but we're in a nice area where I do think that could happen, and targets will probably be this support here, term resistance again, because that level did send us down, so we could come back up to retest it, potentially might break it, and we could go further, but that's where potentially price could come for pound AUD. And we're starting to put some nice wicks to the downside on the daily as well. I know this candle hasn't closed yet, but if we do close bullish, that'll be another wick to the downside. So yeah, I think pound AUD could be looking good for some longs. I'll probably wait for maybe a bit more confirmation and just go long straight away, because we could easily just roll over. We do have kind of this bearish trend line here, so maybe a break of that bearish trend line there on the 4H will make a lot more sense. You can see that on the hourly, just connecting these major lower highs. We've got first test up there, second test there, third test there, fourth. So I think if we can break above this trend line, create a higher low somewhere, we do have a nice area of support here, which I've been looking at. As you can see, strong support, strong support, strong support. So if you can break to the upside, come back and retest the trend line, retest the support, will probably be some nice swings to the upside back into that resistance up there, or at least coming back into some of these levels here. That could be a nice target around the 1.84800 area. So yeah, I'm looking at potential longs for pound AUD. For me, the market is still bearish, but it is running out of juice. So yeah, there could be some nice shorts coming up. But I'm not sure if it will take us that far, or the shorts be worthwhile, since we're coming to a strong demand and we're starting to run out of steam. You can see it's a little bit corrective now. So yeah, if we can see that impulsive move just take us to the upside, break us through that trend line, fantastic. We'll wait for the pullback and the higher low. Again, looking for around that area there, and then yeah, longs back up into that resistance there will be looking great for pound AUD. So that's what I'll be looking for pound. But if not, I will reject this trend line there, because we haven't broke through it yet, of course. If you do reject that trend line, then potentially you could see price come straight back down, especially if you get back underneath that level, and yeah, probably can just continue to some more lows, because it is still a bearish market. But yeah, break through that trend line, we could be looking at some nice long opportunities. Oil, yeah, sure, I'll take a look at oil. To be fair, I don't have really much. I haven't really looked at oil, to be fair, because I don't trade it, of course. I just stick to my Forex pair, so I didn't really have too much of a bias about oil. I know there's like a lot of fundamentals going around about oil now, but again, I haven't really been caught up too much with it, just focusing on the pairs that I trade. But yeah, I'll take a look at it technically for you. So obviously we've seen a continuation to the upside. We took out those highs a while ago. Still overall looking bullish, but coming to that 84 mark, nice psychological level. Could be seeing some of the big players taking profit around here. We are starting to run out a bit of steam. Overall, still a bullish market here, as you can see. Getting back below this level here does mean that we could be seeing a move to the downside. Potentially at least to fill that range here. As you can see, we're fluctuating between that. If oil does get below that, which is looking like it potentially will, it's got about 18 minutes before that candle closes, we'll probably see a swing back down into this support and just continue that range to the downside. And we potentially might start that range again, or if we break out to the lows, we could actually be seeing a bit of a reversal. Not really reversal, but bigger retracement. If we get back above this area here and start pulling back up, that's a false break, hold that support. Now I do expect to see oil continue to some new highs, or at least highs past that point. But yeah, closing below there, we'll probably see continuation, probably wait for the retest, continuation just to fill that range to the downside. This is the 4H as well, and we'll probably see a nice drop back into the 82 area potentially, and just fill that range. So that's what I look for oil. But again, I don't trade the pair, so I haven't looked at it for a while, so I don't have too much bias fundamentally and technically. But if I do see that break here, there is a good probability we'll fall to the downside and just fill that range in. Yeah, 100% agree with that. Limit yourself to only a few instruments, especially in your position where you have a full-time job that you have to commit to. You don't want to be trading random pairs. Stick to the few pairs and try to understand the sessions and how they move with the sessions, because just understanding that alone can really help you, especially in your position, because you're not going to be at the charts all the time. You're only going to be at the charts for a few sessions at a time. So just understanding how it moves and what session it does move in. Simply just getting the session right, expecting to move up or down, riding that momentum could be a nice trade within itself, really. So yeah, limit yourself to a few instruments, whether it's Forex, indices, or whatever, and yeah, just trade that. Gold, pound, JPY, USDP, yeah, sure thing. USD PLN, we haven't had that one in a long time, but yeah, we'll take a look at that. Okay, we're going to start with gold. Okay, so gold, I haven't really looked at gold coming into this week too much. I really have it on my watch list. Again, I did say in my weekly analysis though that if gold does take out this level here, I will be looking for longs to the upside. And again, we still haven't actually taken out that level yet, and longs back up into this resistance all the way up there. So far, if you do reject this level, which so far we're not rejecting it, but holding at that level, I can see gold potentially coming back down into this support around 1780. So break through that, go back up to 1830, hold that, back down to 1780. So that's what I'm looking at for gold. Going on to the low time frames, 4H hourly, you can see we're still kind of just rejecting those levels there. Overall momentum is still with the bulls. You can see we're still creating higher highs and higher lows. I know we've had this crazy spike down there. Again, I hope no one was blowing their accounts with that move there. But yeah, we're still bullish. Price creating higher highs, higher lows. Maybe there's a bit of a trend line here. I'm not sure if price is connecting with that right now though. Yeah, so not really testing that trend line, but the market's bullish, making higher highs and higher lows. So coming into this level here, we've seen a bit of consolidation there, broke to the downside, not much momentum. So yeah, if gold can hold this resistance, then I do see gold coming right back down to these lows. Again, gold very involved with the DXY. If the DXY, because it's looking quite bearish now, if the DXY can hold that support and then continue up, that means DXY will be strong. That means we'll see strength in the US dollar. That means gold will come back down. But if the DXY goes and breaks through this level here, and then yeah, I think we'll probably see DXY head back down to these lows all the way down here, and then that means that gold will probably move up. Where is gold now? Gold will probably move up back up to 1830. So if we can get above this level here and hold that as support, and also DXY breaks the downside, longs will be looking good here, and just expecting this bullish trend here just to continue. But yeah, if we start rejecting that a lot more and DXY starts to look bullish again, then those shorts will look good. Right now it's kind of in a bit of both right now, so I wouldn't have my bias just yet. So far underneath it, so yeah, potentially short, but we could break that quite easily, and if DXY goes and breaks through that, we could really take off to the downside as well. So we'll see what happens at this level for the DXY. We're coming into it now. Yeah, and DXY can break through that. That means that's why I do see DXY heading to. But yeah, for me, gold, see what happens with that level, and then that will make my bias up there, because I'm not too sure yet for gold. It's rejected that level, yes, but not really, very confidently. It can still come back up, retest it, which would be nice. And if you were to come back up, retest it, confirm that's resistance again, then shorts, yeah, will be looking good, and potentially back down to 1780. If not, we break through, then 1830, I believe, all the way up there will be my target. But we'll be waiting for the DXY as well to see what that one wants to do. Pound JPY, yeah, we'll be taking a look at that. So pound JPY looking quite bullish here. Again, I think pound overall is quite strong. Pound CAD, pound CHF, pound JPY, pound USD is pushing up. So overall, we're seeing a lot of strength for the pound, really. and we're pushing to the upside. We've broken above this level here, which I was looking at last week to come into. We broke through that, and now we're back above that level again. So again, like I said, for NZD JPY, pound JPY is still, you know, overall a bullish pair. Going to the daily quickly, you can see we did see those two bearish candles coming in, but we did come back and retest this, I believe. Yes, we did. That prior resistance there on the daily now turned support, so that there could give us another continuation, you know, to the upside. So do have to watch out for that. Price could be going back to highs for pound JPY potentially. I say excuse me, I say if we can break through this, then yeah, we probably will be heading back to highs, because this here potentially could send us back down again. Break through this, then I'm expecting highs all the way up there. But yeah, for me, pound JPY is still looking bullish. Pound's quite strong right now, so I'll be looking to see what happens there with that level. If we can reject that, then sells right back down into that range, just filling out that range like we did previously, like we did here as well. Just filling that range from 157,400 back down to 156,800. And break through that, we could probably see a push back down to 156. If we just storm through that, then yeah, price is quite likely to head back to these highs up here, back up to 158 and maybe even higher as well. Again, the market is still bullish in the higher time frames, and we just had that break and retest of that daily level there as well. So break through that, most likely head to highs. If you start holding that level and we see some nice rejection, we'll be getting into some shorts, looking for just a fill of that range, and then maybe holding on for a break to 156 down there. So that's what I'll be looking for pound JPY, what happens around here. And yeah, USD PLN. Okay, so just on the dailies because I haven't looked at this pair in a long time, so let's see what's going on. Okay, so overall price is coming back into a key level of resistance here on the left. Very strong move to the downside. I mean, overall there's a lot of resistance around here anyway. But yeah, we're starting to have a hard time breaking through this. Price looks like it's starting to put some low highs in as well. Going onto the 4H, you can see lower highs there, potentially just one now. So yeah, I think USD PLN is most likely to be heading down back into this support down here. If we keep those lower highs up, maybe eventually break through that as well, and also in that key daily resistance as well. So yeah, I'll say USD PLN back down to this level here, 1.392. Looks like we're putting in those lower highs, maybe a bit of a trend line there as well. As our price actually broke through, that's coming back below it now. But yeah, essentially just playing those lower highs, and yeah, I'm expecting a move into that level there. Looks like it's rejected this resistance here as well. So yeah, shorts for USD PLN, also in that key, you know, daily zone as well of resistance. So don't really want to be looking at longs too much. Maybe some longs could be looking good there, but it looks like we just pushed out, formed a lower high, especially with that momentum there. And yeah, I can see a drop back down to 3.92 if we can keep that momentum up. So yeah, shorts for me for USD PLN. I don't trade this pair, but you know, if price action just follows what it does for every instrument really, then we do have a good probability of price moving down into that support there. Unless we see this flip bullish quickly and use that trend line as support, then we might be seeing the breakout. But I think as long as that momentum continues, probably wait for that candle to close to confirm it. And then yeah, it could be dropping to the lower time frames to see some shorts back down into there. But yeah, looking bearish right now. Looks like it's done a double top there on the hourly. So one test, second test, strong ejection. So yeah, for me, this is looking good, coming back down to those lows. So yeah, I hope that analysis helped there. Yeah, sure thing. I just did gold, so I'll move on to pound USD. But yeah, for pound USD, like I was saying, go back into the hourly chart. That price is in a little bit of a range here. If you take a look at the bigger picture of things, zoom out of the hourly, we've got key resistance here where price test at 1, 2, 3 times, and the key support we've got test 1, 2, 3 times as well. So we've got a key zone of resistance and support for pound JPY, and we've got kind of like a mid-level, which you do find typically in ranges where price can like find support resistance in the middle between the strong key resistance and support, which is kind of around here. You can see support there, support resistance there. So if we do break through this mid-level here, I'm expecting price to fill the range back up into highs, up into this level here. Again, I've talked about this trend line here. That price looks like it's breaking through actually as well. So we've got a break of the trend line. If you can break above this, use that as support, then yeah, I think pound USD will probably does have a high probability of moving back up to the highs, and maybe even a breakout to the upside, because we are still kind of bullish here with this pair. If not, and we break back underneath, then yeah, sells back down into those lows here. We've got about 6 minutes before this candle closes, so if it closes like that, that is a fairly strong break. Again, not looking to buy the break, waiting for the retest. But yeah, there's a good chance that we could be seeing a swing up into those highs up there for pound USD. But we do need to break through that. And again, this is kind of a bit of a range for that resistance and that support. And we could just be seeing another simple swing back into the highs of the range there. So break through this kind of mid-level there, which price looks like it might be doing. Then yeah, I can see price pushing to those highs, 1.38300 around here. And then potentially even higher as well. Euro AUD, AUD CAD, pound CHF, of course, Chia. Euro AUD. Okay, so this pair has been falling to the downside for quite some time now. Again, that's probably about a couple of weeks now. Coming back into some key demand areas back here and some support as well. It did break through this level, which was the level I was looking potentially to go long off, but we broke through that quite easily, and still looking quite bearish today as well. So Euro AUD, if you can hold onto this support, you might see some upside, maybe coming back into this resistance here, which is the level I was looking at to get long off potentially before. So we could see a bit of a fill of that range to the upside there for Euro AUD. And plus, this pair has been falling to the downside quite aggressively for the past 2 weeks, and we haven't seen any very good retracement really. We've seen some nice pullbacks, yes, but nothing too excessive there. So we're due kind of a bigger pullback soon anyway for Euro AUD. I still think price will eventually come back down to the lows, 152, but I do think potentially there could be some nice longs coming up. I mean, so far overall it's still looking quite bearish, so I think maybe if you can start holding onto this support a little bit more, then we could be looking at some good long opportunities. Getting long now is still a little bit aggressive for me for Euro AUD. Again, I'm not saying that we can't go up, but it's just a little bit aggressive because the market, especially after that fall from yesterday, is still looking quite bearish as well. If you break through this, then you might see price continue. But yeah, if Euro AUD can start holding this as support a lot more, some longs could be looking good from here, and then we could be seeing a really nice push as well. Probably first target back into that resistance around the 156 level, then that resistance just above us there, which is kind of like this support here on the left taken across. Yeah, but Euro AUD, hold that support. It's rejected quite nicely yesterday. It broke through kind of overnight, snapping back up into the London session. So yeah, if we can confirm that as support, could be some nice longs there. A little bit on the aggressive side of things, but the risk reward does look very, very good. A push into that level there, you're looking at around 100 pips into that resistance. So if you can get a 20-25 pip stop loss, you're looking at 1 to 5, 1 to 4, 30 pip stop loss, 1 to 3. So the risk reward is looking very healthy there. Just a tad a bit risky because momentum on the higher time frames is down, of course. But yeah, essentially if we hold that support, looks like we did a nice false break this morning. So if you can hold that, retest that a few more times, give some bit more confirmation, then yeah, longs on your AD could be looking good. But yeah, if you start breaking through again, it means we'll probably just continue to the downside. AUD CAD. Okay, so yeah, AUD CAD, again another bullish pair. Again, I was talking about AUD CAD, was it last week or the week before? Probably the week before, maybe last week, can't remember now. That we had that head and shoulders pattern, and it looks like price is getting ready to reverse. So overall, I'm expecting AUD to come back into these highs all the way up there, and I still think that's where AUD is headed to. Again, I did miss an entry around here. I was looking to get long on AUD on Monday morning, which was because price was failing to break through this support. As you can see, we had so many attempts of price breaking through that support, so I was looking to get long from there in the morning and take that to the upside. But as you can see, we started moving to the upside around 4 a.m. And when I woke up, price was around here, so I was waiting for price to come back and retest, but we just kept going. So during the Asian session, got a nice move, and as you expect, it is Aussie, Aussie CAD. It is a pair that does move in the Asian session. So yeah, we did see a nice move to the upside, but again, target's still all the way up there because, like I said, it looks like potentially a reversal here. So I do think we can still see more upside. I'm expecting price to start pulling back, and it looks like it is. So looking for more opportunities to get involved. Again, I did miss an opportunity back down here as well. Around there for AUD, so I'm still looking to get into this pair. We have this nice resistance which price broke through, so maybe you can come back and get a retest of this. There could be some nice longs to the upside, back all the way up to there. Again, you don't have to look to trade that far. Probably look for move just back into these highs, but for me, AUD overall is a bullish pair, and I can still see price heading to the upside. I know that's looking very, very bearish there on the hourly. But yeah, for me, the direction, looking at the higher time frames, is up here, especially with that consolidation, sharp breakout. I do think price will start moving further to the upside. So yeah, I'm getting ready for longs. But the only thing about this one, which I realized yesterday, is that we're kind of trading in a key area of support and resistance on the daily. So I'm interested to see what happens here. You can see this really key support 1-2, resistance there 1-2 as well. Strong moves to the downside, didn't really act there as much, but right now it's so far as holding as resistance. So if we can see a break of this level here, so this bullish, this kind of wick to the upside closes strongly bullish, then we've got a confirmed breakdown the daily, and we'll most likely see a completion of the range to the upside. If not, and this candle here closes bearish below, then yeah, we'll probably fall to the downside again for AUD, but we'll see what happens with the daily candle. For me, the way I base my trades is I normally look at what happens on the daily and base my trades from there on the lower time frames. So my analysis doesn't really come, entirely from what's going on the hourly or the 4H. Probably about 80% of my analysis is on the daily time frame, understanding what rejections here. So example like this, nice resistance there, seeing nice tweezer tops there into there, coming onto the hourly time frame, I'll be getting ready to short that to the downside. So that's kind of how I trade there, looking at what happens on the higher time frames, and then just taking it to the hourly, maybe even lower for my entry. So I'll see what happens here. If you can break above that, great. Then we'll probably hold. So essentially look at holding this area here. If not, and we just come straight through, then yeah, sales will be looking good tomorrow. Wait for the a retest or a retracement, and then yeah, we'll continue that short. But I'll wait for that daily candle closure to see what happens with the daily, and then I'll base my trade off that for Wednesday. Pound Seat Chef. Pound Seat Chef's looking bullish again. Pound Seat Chef, I had a bearish bias coming into this one, this pair this week, but I've actually flipped it to bullish. I think for Pound Seat Chef, we'll probably see a move into this level all the way up here. Maybe not this, well, actually I could see it this week, to be fair, it's only Tuesday. So yeah, I can see a push up to 1.28 for Pound Seat Chef this week. Again, I was looking for price to come back down into these lows here. But the way price is moving, and the way I know Seat Chef does move, I think we'll probably see a move to the upside. We're holding on to this support here, which again is weird because we held that support once, never really held it again until now. Well, we did there, but we collapsed to the downside. So I think we'll probably see a move to the upside. We've got a little bit of a head and shoulders here, inverse head and shoulders. There's a shoulder, the head, there's the right shoulder. And especially with the momentum that we saw overnight as well, coming into Pound Seat Chef, very, very strong reaction from this level. Again, like I said, I was looking for shorts, but I wasn't expecting to see such a strong reaction, expecting price to retrace, a little bit like that, correctively, and then start to move. But the way I woke up around here at the start of this candle, and at the end of this candle, price was already moving to the upside. So yeah, I do think for pound CHF we're heading up to 1.28 now, so we'll be waiting for a retest of this level here. Nice resistance going across, support there as well. Nice strong candle close there, confirming we're breaking through. So we'll be waiting for this, a higher low now, and then yeah, longs to the upside. I've got a bullish bias on this one. I'm expecting price to head up into 1.28. So yeah, looking for buys there. Did have a bearish bias coming in. I think if we break back below, I might change my bias back to bearish. But the way we're moving, the way we've got that daily candle closure on the daily, it does look good for a move up to 1.28. So yeah, that's why I do see. Oh, disconnected. Okay, my stream keeps doing that. I need to sort my internet. But yeah, looking for continuation to the upside for pound CHF. For what I find so far from looking at sessions, I found like the 50-minute time frame is really good to look at sessions and understand where potentially price might move in that session. Again, London and New York session are the two sessions I trade. I don't trade Asian. I'm at bed, I'm sleeping. But yeah, I trade London and New York, and I find 50 minutes is a good time frame to tell you where price is going to go. Hourly is good as well. Sometimes you can get a really nice closure around like 8 a.m. GMT or sometimes 9 a.m. GMT, and that normally that candle could take you in the direction of the session, but you have to understand the levels around it, because a lot of time there's a lot of manipulation. There could be spikes of the range previously, so do need to watch out for that. Yeah, I think the 15-minute time frame is good for confirmations, but hourly can be good as well. Sometimes the candle might be a bit big, so your stop losses will vary from time to time, but 50 minutes probably the best, but hourly is good as well. Hourly is a good time frame as well. But yeah, a session is just when we get that kick, when we get that momentum in. I used to not have like a basis of the times that I trade. If I used to see just, oh, that looks good, I'll take the trade. But what I've come to learn is that definitely taking trades at the beginning of sessions is definitely gives you that high probability of price working out, because you get that momentum and kick, and price gives you a move in your direction, and then it gives you time to actually get your stop loss to break even and all that stuff. Yes, price can reverse against you, but it means that you haven't lost money, or you've locked in some partials, or you've done something. So yeah, make sure you're entering in session times, and yeah, typically for me, London and New York is when I look to enter my trades. Probably say around 50-50. Crossover is a really nice time to enter trades as well, around 1:30 GMT. UK 100, sure thing, MJ. Oh no, that's US 100. Okay, so we're looking bullish here. We've just taken out those highs recently. We put in a higher low. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We're putting a higher low here with those candlesticks there on the daily. Bit of a double bottom, bearish candle, bullish, retested, and then continue to the upside. So yeah, we are looking very, very bullish here. Still pulling off to the upside. Again, very strong close there on the 4H. Wow, big push. So yeah, we could be seeing price taking a bit of a retracement sooner or later. We do have this resistance here on the left, which price is breaking through, has not come back for the retest, so still fresh support here for price to come back and retest. So yeah, I mean, you could look to sell it. Very, very aggressive in my opinion. Not part of a trade that I'll look to take. I'll be more inclined to look to buy from here than sell it towards there. So yeah, I'll probably say wait for price to retrace, see what it does here. If it comes straight back inside, That means we've done a big false break and grabbed a lot of liquidity above these highs, and you can probably look to sell it back down again. If not, and we just see price slowly come back down, retest that level, we could see nice continuations to the upside and continue that bullish momentum. We had a nice bullish trend line there. We can just spot that trend line there. Price was failing to break through that, and from there, big move to the upside. So nice confluence around here with the trend line and the support. Like I said, if you do see a sharp move back down, back through the trend line, back through that support, then yeah, probably the retest and looking for sales back down again. But I'll say wait for price to come back into here, see what the candlesticks are giving us, and then yeah, that will paint us a nice clear direction where price could go next. But after this move coming to those fresh highs like that, yeah, I would stay away from that. Yes, we could come back down, we could continue up. I'm not really too fast about price there. Nice resistance price is broken through as well. So yeah, I wouldn't touch price all the way up there. I'll leave it alone, see what happens on the way back down. If it does continue to move up, then yeah, leave it, just let it do what it wants to do. Maybe it might find some support again, and then you can look to go long off that potentially, or it might put a double top on and then you can come back down. But if it just continues like that, leave it alone, because it's already broken through structure and everything. It's in like no man's land right now, so I'll let it be. And wait for price to come back down here and see what happens there. And then yeah, if you can hold that, longs break through, remember sharp breakthrough, we'll probably look for shorts and just fill that range to the downside, back down to 7,200 down there. Euro JPY, sure thing, we'll take a look at Euro JPY. Okay, so Euro JPY looking bullish here. Again, overall, JPY pairs are still quite bullish. Euro JPY, nice bearish engulfing a few days ago. We've seen a bit of momentum to the downside from that, but as you can see, we've got those wicks to the upside, so price is running out of steam a little bit. And also, it looks like we've just put in a, not double bottom, but price failing to break through that support there. So one test, second test, and we move to the upside. So price is obviously looking like the bulls are stepping back into play, and they could be wanting to drag price further to the upside. We did kind of have this head and shoulders here. Oh, that's not the tool I wanted. Head and shoulders here. We've got that shoulder there, the head, the retest, and then the continuation. So I think price probably is likely to come back and retest this area here, break through that, probably head back to highs, reject this, will probably come straight back down and test this area. I'm not sure if we'll see new lows. We could even see price might not even test that area, might come back down, put a higher low somewhere, and then push up, because again, like I said, momentum is with the bulls still. Going on to the hourly time frame, so yeah, I'll say what happens with this area here. I think we probably are coming into a trend line, so there could be, actually might have broken through that trend line really. Yeah, we might have actually broke through that trend line anyway. So yeah, price is looking bullish. It's obviously done that, tested it twice there, so like I said, we're most likely going to come up and test that resistance around 132,700. We'll see what happens at that resistance there. Like I said, we might sell off again, but we could put a higher low in somewhere and continue. If we break through that, then longs to the upside and looking for continuations. But yeah, Euro JPY is still looking bullish. Looks like it's breaking through that trend line as well, especially with that candle that just closed. So yeah, if that momentum continues, we'll most likely just see a continuation. I think most JPY pairs are starting to creep bullish again. CAD JPY, CHF JPY, pound's really pushing to the upside. So yeah, well, overall we're seeing a lot of continuation, but yeah, pound's really broken through there. So again, of course, from that close there, you can see, and then from there we've got the continuation. So overall, pound USD, is very, very strong right now. And like I said, breaking through that level, pound USD most likely will head up back to highs all the way up there. I'm not sure if we'll get a chance to actually take advantage of that because of how price is moving. If that candle keeps going, we might end up back there without even seeing any retracement. But if we do come back down and see retracement, this is where I'll be looking for my buy entries and looking for a move into that resistance. But essentially, price is just filling that range between that resistance there, 1, 2, 3 test, 1, 2, 3 test as well. So that's our range. That's the middle level through the range. We've broken through the mid level, so we're expecting price to come back to the highs with the range. But yeah, we just didn't really see a retest there. We had the obviously the breakout here. So yeah, hopefully we can see a retest, but I'm not too sure if we will. That momentum is looking very, very aggressive there. So that might mean that DXY is looking weak, is it? Yeah, DXY is looking weak. Again, like I said, DXY breaks through this. I do suspect DXY to head back down to 93,500. Because again, I've got the 4H time frame. Again, very, very key level, which we're holding as resistance, support, resistance. We broke through with that massive candle, but again, I wasn't too sure if this massive candle was just a liquidity grab, because again, there'll be a lot of stop losses above there. And this is DXY, but coming to the Euro USD, there's a lot of stop losses below here. So this here could just be one big liquidity grab. For the continuation, like I said, for Euro USD, if we get above this, come back for support there, we'll treat that as a false break and look to go long off this move and take it back to the upside. And like I said, targets will be 1.17 up there. So the risk to reward on that move is looking very, very healthy. About 80 pips to the upside, so I can get 20 pips stop loss. You're looking at a nice 1 to 4 there. So we'll see how the DXY closes and everything on the 4H. Got about 45 minutes left to do that. If we can get back underneath that, I would say we're looking good for a move to the downside for the DXY, which means Euro USD will probably move up. So looking for Euro USD to break through this. Hopefully we can get a retest for Euro USD. Hopefully you can get a retest for Euro USD, of course, because it looks like pound might not be giving us one. If you weren't in the trade from this morning or yesterday, there's no way you're going to be able to enter that unless you entered it on the break. Again, not the biggest fan of that, but each to their own. Yeah, I'll probably wait for price to come back down. I would not be looking to take any buys off that momentum there for a Euro USD or Pound USD. The reason why you probably want to look to take buys is because you're getting the fear of missing out. You're getting that FOMO feeling. Because at the end of the day, that's an open candle. I know it's looking very, very bullish right now, but with 44 minutes still left on the clock, this candle could still pull back and close bearish. And I've done that, many times where candles been looking bullish. I'm like, oh crap, I didn't enter. So I quickly enter, and then by the time the candle closes, it's looking completely different to when I entered. And then I've just taken a trade for basically no reason, simply because I had the fear of going to miss out on that opportunity. So it's definitely important to find consistency in your trades. If you're consistently taking breakouts, then fine. That's the way you trade. You take trade breakouts. For me, I do wait for that retest, and again, that's the level I'm waiting for the retest of. And then if we can get a retest of that, I'll be looking to trade that into that level up there, 138, 300, maybe some new highs as well. Euro USD, like I said, we'll be waiting for a break back above this level here, and then I will be waiting for the retest and then go along off that, and then I probably will be targeting these highs up here, and then potentially a breakout at 1.17 up there. That might take until next week, to be fair, but yeah, I'm looking for price to break back above and come and continue. But to be fair, for Euro USD, we still haven't actually broken back above this level here. Yeah, I know Pound USD is looking bullish. I'm not too sure. Maybe there might be Pound news or something. But yeah, Euro is still underneath this, so Euro can actually still come back down. And obviously DXY hasn't actually broken through this level yet, so that could still come back up. So we'll be waiting for candle closures and everything, and we'll be waiting to see Euro USD break above that before I look to go long, wait for the retest, and then if we just hold that as resistance and start to see bearish momentum come back down, I actually will be looking to go short in Euro USD and take it back down to these lows here. So Euro USD hasn't quite met my criteria yet to go long. It needs to break above. And if it holds that as resistance and we see a nice bearish engulfing, or see a nice injection of momentum probably coming into the New York session, there could be some nice sells actually. So I'm not going to be looking for longs yet. Pound, I would have been looking for longs, but I'm not too sure if we'll get the retest. We could still get the retest, but I don't think we will now with that momentum. But yeah, if we could come back down, we'll be looking to continue that. But for me, like I said, looking at the bigger scheme of things, going to the daily chart and looking at DXY, we do have this ascending kind of channel here, where I do think we can come back and retest this lower trend line here. We've tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times now. I think price is getting ready for kind of like a slowish decline back into that lower trend line. So I can overall see a lot more dollar weakness coming into the market. And if that's the case, if we're going to see a lot more dollar weakness, that means Euro USD could potentially be looking at a bigger move to the upside, way past where I'm targeting. We could be seeing price coming back into maybe this trend line here on the left, maybe at the 1.18 level. So we could be seeing a lot more upside for Euro USD potentially, but again, I'm not really looking to hold my trade that long anyways. It's just to have in the back of your head. So we'll see what happens there with that level. Again, we haven't broken through it yet. We might not break through it until the New York session before I base any trades from, but we'll wait and see. Good morning, Sherry Ann. How are you doing? Check GJ in your AUD for you. Say sure thing. So yeah, GJ was looking to, okay, we've hit that level now. I was looking to see what happens with this level here for pound JPY, to see if we can hold this level as a resistance, this level right here, or break through. Again, pound seems to be very, very strong right now. I can see pound USD is breaking to the upside. Looks like pound JPY might follow through. I know I haven't seen an actual break yet. The candle's still live, it's still open. But momentum is with the bulls here. So yeah, if pound JPY does break through this high, through this resistance, I do think pound JPY will head back to the highs up there. So yeah, I'll be looking for the break and retest of this, and then yeah, continuation to the upside back up to 158,200. So for me, pound JPY is looking bullish here. I think we're heading back up to 158 with this momentum. We just need to see a break of this level here first. We're breaking, but we haven't broken, the candle hasn't closed yet. So we'll see what happens with that level, but with momentum and how things are looking like we will probably break through. So yeah, on the break and retest opportunity, if we can get that, and I'm not sure pound USD will give us that, but hopefully maybe pound JPY will, and then yeah, longs to 158. Again, JPY is still very weak, and I think USD might follow that weakness over the next few days or so, or weeks as well. So yeah, GJ more upside for that one, back up to 158. Euro AUD, how are we looking there? Again, like I said, Euro AUD could be some nice buys if we can stay above this. We've already seen a really nice reaction. I believe that was probably last week, yeah, 21st of October. So yeah, we had a bit of a sharp move to the downside, sharp move back up. So could have grabbed some liquidity there, getting ready for a move to the upside. But this support here needs to hold stronger for me first. I want to see price come up, respect that support a lot more before looking to go long there for Euro AUD and take that higher. Simply because Euro AUD, you can see we're overall still in a very, very, very bearish market. We've been falling to the downside for the past, 2-3 weeks now, maybe even longer. So me to go long against that, I need to see a lot of bullish confirmation before I do get long, because typically the way I trade, I like to be with the daily rather than against the daily. And I used to use the hourly, to time my entries really. So to go long against the daily doesn't make too much sense for my strategy. Of course, I'm not too sure about yours, but if Euro AUD can hold on to this, yeah, I see some nice longs, because if I go on the daily quickly, you can see it's a really nice support there on the left, which did give us some nice movements to the upside. So simply just looking for price to complete that range to the upside like it did over here, back again to the upside. But if we do break through this, then yeah, that momentum here will just leak and just continue, and we'll probably won't be interested in that move anyway. So yeah, if we can hold on to that, we'll be looking at a price back up to 154,600, or at least coming back up into this resistance here around the 156 area. Okay, we'll take a look at that Wayne Pound CHF 45-minute chart. See what's going on that one. Are you talking about this trend line to go up? Because like I said, I mean early on the stream, I'm bullish on Pound CHF. You know, breaking above this level 1.26600 and also holding 1.26 as support. For me, I'm bullish on Pound CHF, but it's holding this trend line. I'm not too sure if that's the trend line you're talking about, but it looks like Pound CHF will probably head up into those highs there, around 1.28. So I'm looking to get long on Pound CHF. Again, a bullish pound pair, so we'll see what happens there. So essentially, if you can hold into this support, that'll be fantastic. Come and retest this. This will trigger me into the trade. But yeah, for me, we do have a little bit of like a semi-level round here. Not too focused on that, to be honest. But yeah, Pound CHF 1.28 up there. That's what I'm expecting price to go. I'm not too sure which trend line you're talking about. If it's this one, then yeah, if you come back and respect it, that could be a nice place to go long. I look to normally base my trades off levels, so I won't be using a trend line to enter. Nothing wrong with using a trend line. I'd choose horizontal levels. So I'll be looking at price coming into that level there, and I'm expecting price to come all the way up to 1.28. But yeah, I had a bearish bias for Pound CHF coming into the week, but the way price is moving now, I think Pound CHF is on its way up to 1.28. So we'll be waiting for some retracement, but Pound right now is looking quite strong, so I'm not too sure if we'll see that. You can see Pound CAD's flying off, Pound JPY is flying off, Pound USD is really flying off. So we're seeing a lot of strength in the pound right now. So hopefully we can see some weakness coming in later, and then that could give us some nice, some downside movement to get long on these pairs. But Pound USD, I can still see more upside there, back up to 138,300. Pound JPY, back up to 158. Pound CHF, back up to 1.28 up there. And Pound CAD, maybe back up to 1.71. So all these pound pairs, looking at continuations. I just need to see some nice entries for them. So far, they're still bullish, so I need to price to retrace for me. There's nothing there yet, but hopefully you can get something. I think Pound CHF is the main pair I'll look at, simply because the risk to reward is looking the best. Maybe Pound JPY as well, but I'm not too sure if we get anything for those. Thinking of shorting Pound at around 1.38. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, well, it looks like we're breaking through 1.38, so it's not looking too good there. Like I said, for Pound USD, Pound USD for me is like in a bit of a range, to be fair, because like I've talked about this level here, resistance there, support, tested it 3 times. For me, if a level gets tested 3 times, that kind of confirms that it's not breaking. And we tested it 3 times each, so I've considered this a range. I know price is bullish with that structure, but essentially we're trapped between these 2 levels up here. That's kind of like my midpoint of the levels. So yeah, 1.38 is a nice psychological level. I do like my psychological levels. I do use it as in confluence for my trades, and then base a trade off a psychological level on its own. But I do incorporate it into my trades. I do look for it as well. So yeah, going short around 1.38 makes sense because it's a nice level to go from, but you have to follow price action and the structure of the market. And the structure of this market is bullish. You can see push, pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back. Let's what happened on the push. So the market is bullish. We're broken through that midpoint, and it looks like we're heading back to the highs there. So definitely wait for confirmations. Because if you did wait for a confirmation, hopefully you didn't get short at 1.38, but it did break through that. So yeah, Pound USD back to highs, maybe even higher. But yeah, always use psychological levels with confluence or something else, because psychological levels on their own are quite they're not that good. They're good for the higher time frames like the daily, 4H maybe, but coming to like hourly, 15-minute psychological levels, they don't really pinpoint too much. So yeah, use it in confidence with other things, but as of right now, yeah, it looks like it's moving past that. Yeah, sure, no problem. CAD JPY, sure thing. I haven't looked at CAD JPY to see what's going on in here. Okay, so CAD JPY, again, another JPY pair, again, overall still bullish. I said on my weekly analysis, I think we can see a push into this level here this week. Not too sure if we'll see that now with that momentum there coming bullish again. We can still drop to the downside, but we do need to see this pair turn quite bearish. And looking at the JPY pairs recently, JPY pairs are looking, well, they're gaining strength right now. So we'll see what happens here. Pound JPY, CAD JPY, sorry, it looks like it's breaking back above this support. If it can do that, then I'll probably say continuations to the upside. If it did hold a resistance here last week, even if it held again this week, then that could be a really nice place to go short from, wait for confirmations, and then a push to 91. But as you can see, it looks like we might not get that resistance there. So yeah, we might be looking at CAD JPY pushing back into maybe around the 92,600 level, coming into this resistance here, and just feel that move to the upside. So yeah, I think CAD JPY back up to 92,600 is looking good. Again, that'd be a nice place to go long from. If we do get above this, could be just be price just having a false break beneath it, and us getting back above it, retest the support, confirm that, and then yeah, back up to 92,600 is looking good. So yeah, I mean, JPY pairs look like they're going up, so just waiting for retracement confirmations for those pairs, and I think we could be seeing the JPY pairs start to continue for the rest of the day, maybe coming to Wednesday as well, and might see them back at highs as well. So not looking to get short up against those pairs. Well, at least not now, of course. Maybe if something changes, maybe have some news later on. I think we do have some USD news coming on later. And you go check actually. Haven't checked for today, but I do think we do have some news. For today, and I think it's for USD. So okay, we do have some USD news at, what's that? At 3 p.m. 3 p.m. we've got some USD news. We'll see what that happens. We do have some news at 2 p.m. as well, GMT. But that's medium impact, so not expecting too much from that. But we do have something at 3 p.m. high impact, so that might cause a little bit of ruckus on the USDs. But yeah, I'm not expecting too much from that. So do watch out for those news events, of course. I mean, I'm not too sure if we will get any entries on pounds. Maybe if the news can take us back down, we start holding that, we can get long, but we're not too far off that resistance. So I think price will probably just continue anyway. Euro, hopefully we can break above that, and then that'll make a lot more sense. And then longs off there, back into the high. So that'll probably be a really nice trade this week for Euro. Just looking for the break and retest of that, back into that resistance there. And then yeah, we'll look to take that 1.17 potentially. I mean, I look to swing my trades. So if I get an entry around here, knowing that the DXY might want to start bombing off to the downside, I'll be looking to hold that trade on to around 1.17 from here. I'll probably be looking to take partials at this resistance here, of course, because we've rejected that 3 times. Obviously, we broke to the downside, a lot of momentum. But if we can break to the upside aggressively, that will confirm to me that this here was a false break. Waiting for that retest, and then I'll be looking at 1.17. And then if that plays off, again, the great risk reward on that as well. But EURUSD hasn't broken above that level yet, so potentially still looking at shorts from here to take that lower. DXY is not quite matching up yet because DXY looks like it might be breaking through, so I'll have to wait to see what the DXY wants to do and all of that stuff. But yeah, I think I'll be waiting for the break back above to get long on this for EURUSD. I think that's probably the pair I'll be focusing on the most. But yeah, we'll see what happens there for Euro USD. Thanks, much appreciated, guys. And yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the content, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. That really does help me out. I'm really grateful for all of that. So yeah, feel free to do that if you want to. Of course, I'm not going to force you to have a gun to your head or anything. But yeah, it would be nice. And yeah, if there's any other pairs that you want to take a look at, feel free to leave in the chat, and I'll take a look at it for you, see what's going on with those pairs. Like I said, Euro USD is at the top of my watch list for trades, either looking for a move down or a move back up. I'll wait to see what the DXY is doing as well. But Euro USD for today and tomorrow is probably the pair I'll be focusing on. Again, I don't like to have too many pairs. I'm starting to narrow down my watch list now from sometimes I can have like 3 to 5 pairs at one time to just having like 1 or 2 very, very good probable opportunities, because it means less for me to do, and also kind of less stress and less looking around, because again, if I'm just focusing on 2 pairs, say Euro USD and Pound USD, then I don't have to really worry about what's going on for pounds NZD for anything. I just focus on this pair until I get the move, until I take the trade and it stops me out or it goes in my direction. Then I can look at some other pairs and see what's going on, and then filter my watch list down again. So starting to look at, I still look at a wide range of pairs, but when I form my watch list, I try to keep it to like maximum 2 or 3. If 3 are looking really good, but try to keep it just to 2. And again, like I said, I'll be aiming up to 1.17, so I swing my trades a lot. So I just need to see which trades can come through. Doesn't really matter about my losses, because the wins will definitely outweigh the losses. Obviously, my win rate will take a hit because I'll be swinging my trade further. But if one trade pays off, it makes a big difference. I'll take a look at that DXY 15-minute time frame. I mean, yeah, it does look like price is breaking through this here on the left, on the 50-minute. Breaking through that support there, broken through. If it holds underneath, will probably continue. I mean, momentum here is very, very bearish as well. And again, a good sign of where price is going is also looking at the momentum of the candles and everything, because in a trend, momentum is clearly, let's say we've got uptrend, momentum's clearly up, and then you got less momentum / correction to the downside, and you got momentum. So when you see price coming down but it's doing a lot of this, it means that it's getting ready for potentially price to move back up again. But if you see price is moving up and there's a really big momentum shift to the downside, it means that price is probably getting ready to change direction and head down. So you could be waiting for retracement to get back in on that. That's why I always say I like to enter with momentum, or I like to stay with momentum on the higher time frames, because most often than not, price continues to go in its direction that it has momentum in. Yes, it takes retracements and breathers and everything, but probably about 75% of the time, price continues to go in its trend. So just taking a trade in that direction, it really puts you at an advantage, really. So with that momentum there, and if you can break through that, then yeah, I can see DXY heading to that 93,500 mark, maybe 93 as well. So yeah, those longs on Euro USD will be looking good. Hopefully you can get something, because I'm not too sure for breakthrough that. Maybe either late New York, or coming to early London tomorrow. There could be some nice longs into that and take that to the upside. Hey Julian, how are you doing? Yeah, I have talked about pound USD, but I can quickly go over that for you. It doesn't really matter too much, but yeah, pound USD, like I said, basically prices overall still continue to be bullish here. We've got obviously the push from here, pullback, another push there, pullback, and prices push into the upside again. So overall, I'm expecting price to come back into these highs. I did say at the start of the stream that we were looking for a pullback into this level here, but obviously it looks like we're not seeing that. And I was looking to get long from this level here to trade it up to those highs. But price is just breaking to the upside, coming back into that resistance. So overall, for me, it looks like the DXY is getting ready for a big move to the downside. So I think pound will probably break through these highs eventually and continue up. Maybe next target is 1.39 up there. Again, if I just zoom out, coming into this next daily resistance here, where we've got all these wicks around. So I think that's where price is probably headed up to next for pound USD if that momentum continues, which does look likely. So I'm expecting pound to be heading to 1.39 if we take out these highs. So even waiting for two things for pound USD, even waiting for price to come back, respect this area, come back down, form a higher low here, and then getting long. I'm waiting for the break of that, show me that price is holding that, and then getting long up to 1.39 up there. So that's what I'm looking for pound USD. It doesn't look like it's giving me that one, so I might be waiting for the break and retest of that, but that level could send us back down into those lows there. So pound USD for me is bullish. I think we'll probably see a move up to 1.39 maybe by the end of the week if you see momentum really build up. But yeah, pound USD is looking bullish, and I expect to see some new highs coming. So we'll be waiting for longs of this level or the break and retest of those of that level there, and then yeah, 1.39 will be my target. So yeah, I hope that helped, Julian. Hey, first time on my channel, Dad. Love that. Yeah, gold. I was looking at gold. Gold, I do have kind of like, if I actually go on the daily quickly, gold, I was looking at this level here. Really nice resistance here on the left, really nice support there as well, and really nice resistance there. So I'm simply looking at gold playing off this range here of 1830, 1800 and 1780. If price here for gold rejects this on the daily, we'll probably head back down to 1780. If we break through, then we'll probably head up to 1830. DXY right now looks like it might be giving us a move to the downside. So with that information there, I probably would favor gold breaking to the upside and continuing this bullish run back up to 1830. So if I go on the hourly time frame and clear that up, because that is looking messy. So yeah, if gold can get above this level, 1806 around there, then yeah, I do think we'll probably see some nice continuations to the upside and back up to 1830. Do you have a nice trend line here as well, which price is respecting? So a break of that trend line, price gets above that, holds that support, nice longs to the upside. If not, and we start holding that as resistance, then we'll probably fall to the downside. But yeah, DXY is looking like it's coming down. And only if DXY starts holding this and we see a big bearish and big bullish engulfing there, then that might mean DXY is probably going to head up, and then you know the gold will come back down, but only if we do see something like that. So yeah, I'll probably be favoring gold to break to the upside here. If not, and DXY looks bullish again for some reason, we do have some news later, then yeah, we might come right back down. But just see what happens with this level here, and then yeah, if we confirm resistance or break through the trend line, confirm support, then you could be looking at some nice longs or sells. Impulse entries, shower. I don't normally enter my trades on impulse entries. Well, kind of enter my trades on, like, you know, strong candlestick patterns. For example, like the Euro USD trade that I took last week or the week before actually. this long here. On the stream we were looking at taking this long here. All I entered was on this bullish candle there on the hourly time frame. So as you can see, we had that strong push to the downside, price came into support, time resistance down support, had that bullish engulfing candle, entered on that with stops below and looked to ride that to the upside. So again, it's nothing too complicated, just waiting for good strong candlesticks to enter your trades. And you can see here, really nice bearish engulfing candle, engulf like 3 or 4 candles there. Really nice entry to go short there. So it's all about understanding the candlestick patterns. I do have a video, or kind of like a series on my channel about that. I'll go to more in depth in future videos as well. But yeah, it's just about understanding whereabouts the key levels are in the market, and understanding how price reacts with that, then entering on those confirmations. But yeah, if price is impulsing down like that, I wouldn't look to enter the market. I'll look for price to retrace for me, or to give me a reversal. So yeah, I don't really enter off impulsive moves. I looked for retracement like this, impulse up, I wait for price to retrace for me, then I look to enter to continue that move to the upside. I wouldn't enter shorts on the impulse, or looking to enter short and continue that. I'll wait for price to retrace for me first, off to a level, and then continue. Just like I said here for Euro USD, if Euro USD does hold this level here, we see a nice shift to the bears, I will be looking to go short and continue that momentum to the downside. But because DXY is looking like it might continue down, I think Euro USD might break through this. So I'm waiting for price to break through that, impulse up, retrace back down for me, and then I look to get involved. So my trades are normally always, after the retracement, not with the impulse. Because sometimes impulses can be fake. Retracement is normally always just to look to continue the momentum previously. Whereas impulses, they can be a bit. They could deceive you sometimes, because impulses can be also to grab liquidity as well. So that's why I stay away from impulses, wait for the move to be done, wait for price to retrace for me, and then I look to find my trades to enter. On my watch list is just Euro USD and pound. Oh, subscriber, love to see that. Welcome to the gang, much appreciated. That. And guys, thank you for subscribing, and if you kind enough, drop a like on the channel as well. On the video, that does really help as well. But thanks a lot for that. On my watch list, like I said, it's just Euro USD and pound USD at this moment in time. Pound CHF, actually I'm looking at as well, but I'm not sure if I get an entry for that today and need price to retrace back down for me, so that might be for tomorrow. But Euro USD is the main pair I'm focusing on. I'm seeing if Euro USD can hold that resistance and move down, or break above and then move back up and continue. If it does break above, I'm treating that as a false break there, grabbing liquidity below this low, and then I'll look to get long and ride that to the upside. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for Euro USD. Pound USD, I'm not too sure if I get anything for that. It was looking for that break, but it's gone now, so that's why I'm kind of focusing more on Euro right now. But yeah, that's on my watch list. I'm kind of narrowing down my watch list, so I'm not having too much on. So I'll probably say Euro USD, and then excuse me, if we can get some retracement for tomorrow, then I'll look to add pound CHF to that as well, off a pullback. But yeah, nothing quite there yet. Much appreciate. Thank you, because I know there's starting to become a lot more new people on the channel. So, welcome to the channel, guys. Much appreciated. And yeah, if there's any pairs want me to look at, any certain pairs, or any time frames as well, because sometimes I don't always hit your time frames. If you're looking at the lower time frames, like the 15-minute, 5-minute, let me know. I'll take a look at that for you as well. But yeah, what time frames you're looking at, or what pairs, whether it's indices, Forex. Yeah, no problem, Julian. Happy to help. No, I don't do any Zoom sessions at the moment. Might start doing that in the future potentially. But yeah, I only do live stream at this moment in time. from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. GMT. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Again, that's for the new people who's coming into the channel. So that's why I stream my videos. So yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 a.m. GMT to 12 p.m. GMT. So actually going to end in about 13 minutes or so. So yeah, if any of you guys want me to take a look at any charts before the stream ends, just feel free to let me know. Again, let me know let me know what's the word, the time frame as well that you want me to take a look at it, look at those charts as well. No, I don't have any Zoom classes either. I mean, I don't do any classes or any like teaching material apart from my YouTube channel yet. I might start looking at creating like a little kind of like a not course, like a, I don't know what word to say, so I'm just gonna use course. Like a kind of like a cheat sheet kind of like how I trade, because how I trade is quite simple, but it does involve a lot of analysis, a lot more of the time frame analysis behind it. But it's essentially simple, just looking at the key levels of the market and looking where to trade. So I'm looking at developing like kind of something that you guys can learn from, like a PDF, something where you guys can download and learn from that. And just show you kind of the way I trade. I mean, a lot of you guys have been on my streams, for a long time now, a few weeks, maybe some of you a few months as well. So you understand like how I look at the market, how I analyze. It's nothing too complicated, because I know there's a lot of people out there with some crazy strategies, not bad strategies, just like you really need to be switched on, looking at getting 1 minute time frames, looking to swing the trade for like a 1 to 60 risk to reward, crazy stuff like that, which is doable, but it's just not the way I trade right now. Maybe something I look into the future, who knows? But yeah, just looking to play with the key levels of the market. Again, I'm gonna start doing a lot more content on my channel, just showing you strategies, my strategies really, how I trade, different aspects of the strategy as well, and also a lot about the psychology as well, because that's more important than the strategy really, to be honest. So I'll start doing that as well a lot more on the channel, but I don't do classes right now. But if there's a lot of people interested in classes, then yeah, potentially I might start doing classes if there's people asking for that, and there's a good amount of people wanting to have some classes with me, then yeah, I could start looking into creating classes with you guys. But yeah, nothing right now. Yeah, so it looks like DXY is definitely breaking through that right now. So yeah, if DXY does continue, 93,500 is where I'm expecting price to go. Again, that's a big fall. This is a 50-minute time frame. That's a big fall to the downside. So it could be some nice swings coming up. Again, I don't want to long Euro USD now, even though DXY is looking very, very probable for a move back down to these lows here. I'm not going to just blindly get long in Euro USD, because I know I am longing into resistance there. So we'll wait for that break. There is a chance that price could break through this and not come back down for me, like what Pound USD just did, and break to the upside. But again, that comes with the strategy. Wait for the break and retest. The retest might not always happen. Price might break to the upside, it might continue, and then come back down for the retest, whilst it's all the way up there, whilst you're not expecting it. Oh, another subscriber. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really am grateful for that. Thank you so much. Hope you do enjoy the content. And yeah, drop a like in the video if you are enjoying that as well. But yeah, if you do break through this and price just continues, we'll still wait for the retest. As long as we haven't reached this resistance, I will be looking for price to come back down. It doesn't matter if it's here and it comes back down, or up there and it comes back down. But yeah, we'll be waiting for that retest and to go along. And also go check out my Telegram channel as well. I'll be posting my trading setups on that when I do get something. So feel free if you want to take part on those trades. You have to take it on live accounts. You can take it on demo accounts if you want. yeah, EU is testing that level. I just want to see if it holds resistance or if price breaks through. Again, that's why I do wait for my confirmations, because right now price is coming into so far price right now is looking very, very bullish. So I'm not looking at shorting that straight away. But if we do see some nice confirmations to go short, then yeah, I will look to go short. But I want to see DXY start looking bullish again, because DXY looks like it's coming back down. So I'm not too sure if we will get any good shorts there. Probably have to wait for the break. Yeah, and then push back up to 1.16700 is where I'm expecting price to go. Any indicators for, moving averages are quite good. Sometimes I do use moving averages. 7 and 14 are good moving averages to use. Just simple moving average. 7 and 14. They're good for entries as well. If I just put it on now, actually. So 714 is a good pair of moving averages to use. Sometimes EMA can be a little bit better, but I feel like EMA is better for like finding the trends in the higher time frames and following. But looking at the EMAs could be good for like trend, and then MAs could be good for entries. But yeah, just looking at the moving averages could be a nice entry signal for you. It does mean that not always you'll get the tightest of entries. Because sometimes you have to wait for the moving average to cross, or waiting for the price to close above or below the moving averages. So it means that you do sometimes have that bigger stop loss, but it also means that your trade is confirmed a little bit more as well. So yeah, moving averages are good as well to confirm entries and confirm trades. Obviously not just by themselves, understanding where the levels are in the market and then combining that with that is good confluence. But yeah, I don't really use indicators too much. I mean, you could use like stochastics and RSI. They can be good, but I feel like they're quite. The way I trade is because I wait for price to retrace for me, and what I find normally with like indicators like that is it normally show prices oversold or overbought, very, very quickly before price actually does end up continuing. So most of the time, I'm up against it with using those indicators. They're good as confluence, but not really all the time, because most of the time, like for example, this trade here, when I got that bullish signal, the RSI will be showing oversold, look for buys. But the thing is, the RSI would have showed oversold here, oversold there, might even showed oversold there as well. So for me, it gives too many confirmations, right? So I don't really use them too much. But yeah, moving averages are good. So yeah, you can incorporate that a lot more. But yeah, simple price action for me is enough. Is enough to find good entries. And I find that I find that with candlesticks, it's not necessary the candlestick pattern that's the most important. It's where in the market you're entering, because for example here you can see that's like a nice bearish engulfing there, nice wick to the upside, a lot of rejection, but price still continues up. Why? Because you're trading at support there, and the clear resistance is all the way up there. So candlesticks are important, yes, but the area and the whereabouts where you're getting into your trades is also just as important as well. So it's not getting too exciting seeing a bullish engulfing candle. Like, where is that bullish engulfing candle? If it's in the middle of nowhere, then there's no point. But yeah, waiting for price to get to certain areas of the market, waiting for confirmations, and then yeah, that's simply how I enter. Moving averages, like I said, could be a good additional confirmation as well. 714 is nice. Yeah, I actually do have a group chat where you guys can talk together. I'll post a link in that in the chat. There's only like 13 or 14 people in that. But yeah, I do have a group chat on Telegram where we can speak to each other. I also have another Telegram, which is the main Telegram, where I just post setups and post my videos in. But yeah, I do have a Telegram chat set up for that, to be honest. So yeah, I'll post a link into that and into the live chat. I got along on Euro USD. Nice. Well, I'm waiting to go along on Euro USD, to be fair. Again, it looks like price is breaking above this, so I'm waiting for price to confirm that break and then go along. DXY looks like it's definitely breaking through this. Wow, DXY is just pushed off. So yeah, DXY definitely broken through that. This is looking like a big liquidity grab here to the upside. And yeah, we'll be waiting for a bit of that, and then DXY back down to those lows. And Euro USD looks like it's going to close above. Got about 1 minute 30 seconds or something before that candle closes. So yeah, I can see Euro USD just filling this range to the upside from 1.16200 all the way back up to 1.16700 ish. So yeah, looking at filling that range to the upside there for Euro USD. I'll be looking at that trade. Hopefully you can get something maybe late today coming into the New York session. So hopefully you can get something there. If not, price might move around a bit sideways before it might kick off tomorrow, London. So yeah, we'll be looking for entries to take Euro up, back up to that resistance. But yeah, that's the main opportunity I'm looking for. Like I said, pound CHF we'll be looking at as well. Need to see price come right back down. Not too sure if we'll see that, so I'll keep that one on the kind of like on my mind, but not focusing on too much. But Euro USD is looking the best right now. Hey Orain, yeah, love to see that. Yeah, Euro USD is top of my watch list, like I said. Looking at a push into 1.16650, which is that level up there. I think this here is just a big liquidity grab here to the downside, because we just broke to the downside with so much momentum. Normally when we do see the momentum, it's because prices get ready to reverse and continue down. But because we're coming to the upside, you know, quite aggressively, and DXY is starting to melt off, you know, this looks like a big liquidity grab to me here. So yeah, on the break and retest of this level, you know, feel that range to the upside is looking very, very good. So yeah, Euro back up to 1.16650, and then yeah, I'll probably be looking to hold my trade a little bit further back up to 1.17, because I think that's the next psychological level we'll get to. You can see 1.16 is here. If I just get a horizontal tool, 1.16 is here, and we're using that as support. So normally what you see is price head to the next psychological level, break through that one, head to the next one, or maybe reject that one, come back to the previous one. So that's normally how psychological levels play, and it looks like we're holding 1.16 as support right now. So I do believe this here is a liquidity grab, and since we're holding 1.16, I think we'll probably see a move up to 1.17 up there. So we'll be waiting for that confirmation on the break and retest of that. And then yeah, first targets will be this resistance here. Then if you can get a break of that, can be looking at entries on the break and retest of that as well. But 1.17 up there is where I do see Euro USD heading to. So we've had, I wouldn't say that's the cleanest break, but for me, because DXY is already broken in like that, I think Euro USD is already going to push in anyway. So yeah, I'm waiting for price just to continue that momentum a little bit more. It looks like it probably will, because the DXY it's looking like it's gonna fall out the sky. So yeah, I'm looking at Euro USD to continue that a little bit more, break a retest of that, and then we'll be looking at the longs. Yeah, I'll post that. I'll post the link in a second. I'm just gonna wrap up the live stream because it has come up to 12. So I'll wrap up the live stream and then I'll post the link in the chat for you guys. Yeah, I think this could be a good trade to let it run, because it's obviously broken to the downside here, and normally when you get false breaks, it's price grabbing liquidity, getting ready for a bigger move up. So normally after the false breaks, you do see the bigger moves happen. So I think this is a good trade to trail. So yeah, I'll be looking at getting involved later on. Hopefully, get something today or maybe tomorrow. But yeah, this could be a really nice trade to trail. I'll be looking at 1.17. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it is the end of the stream, guys. I hope you all have enjoyed it, found it useful. Like always, I'll do a quick breakdown some of the pairs that I'm looking at for this week / today as well. And then yeah, we'll look to end the stream there. Then I'll post the link into the chat, guys, for you, because I just want to quickly wrap things up, and then I'll go find the link for the chat. So yeah, EURUSD, like I said, guys, waiting for the break and retest of that, and then looking to go long back up to highs, and then 1.17. But this hasn't really broken back above there, so it's not really confirmed for me just yet. But because how DXY is looking for me, you know, I do expect it to happen. So waiting for that to happen. Then we'll be looking at some longs. Pound USD, we were looking at longs there, but price has already just broken through that, never came back for the retest. So we'll see what happens with this. But like I said, pound USD, I do see price come up to 139 up here. So if you can get above this, hold that as support. There could be some nice longs in the break and retest. But I think for me, because we do have a lot of imbalance here, I do think price can retrace a little bit and then go long. Respect that support again. That could be a nice long off there, but I'm not too sure if we will see that retracement. So yeah, pound USD back up to 1.39. Can be looking at the break and retest of that. We'll see what happens now. It's looking very, very bullish here, but we'll be looking for pound to 1.39. Pound CHF, I'm also looking at 1.28 all the way up there. Well, just underneath 1.28. But first I want to see some retracement back into here, and then I'll look to go long and take this to highs. So pound CHF is on the watch list, but like you can see, we're a little bit of a distance away from there. We're not going to get any confirmations for this one anytime soon. You know, probably at least have to wait till tomorrow, I reckon. New York could take us down, but I don't think we'll get anything. It might be too late in the day as well to take a trade. So I'll probably be waiting for tomorrow for this one. Might set an alert there to see when price can get there, and there's obviously a chance that price might not retrace. It might just continue. Might have to look at this level here on the left. Resistance there, support, resistance. Might have to look at a break and retest of that for entries. That's only if we don't see that retracement, but we will see. But pound CHF anyway, 1.28 or 1.27900 is looking good as well. So we'll be looking at that. But primary pair, I'll be focusing on the EURUSD longs back up to 1.1650 and 1.17. So that is the end of the stream, guys. Hope you all enjoyed that and found that useful. Like always, enjoy the content, or you found it useful, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Also, you know, why not hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams coming out in the upcoming weeks. I'm live again tomorrow and Thursday as well, around 10 AM to 12 PM GMT for those 2 hours there. So hope I do see you guys there for that one. But yeah, I'm gonna go get my phone and post the link to the chat. So 1 second. Okay guys, so I've just posted the link to the chat. Hopefully that comes up. There it is. So yeah, I posted a link to the chat there, so go check that out if you want to, feel free to. But yeah guys, that is the end of the stream, so I hope you all enjoyed that, found that useful. I hope I do see you guys live again tomorrow, same time as usual. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. GMT. What did I just say there? 12 p.m. GMT. As I know you guys are at different time zones and everything, but yeah, I hope I see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you can get Euro USD trade in. I'll let you know if I do get anything, and I'll post the setup on the Telegram group. But yeah, if not, I'll wait for tomorrow London to see if we can get anything for that one. But yeah, that is the end of the stream. I hope I see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, and take it easy.